In 1985, an unexpected moment in a New York appliance store was about to change music history forever. Mark Knopfler, lead guitarist of Dire Straits, overheard two delivery men watching MTV. Their candid criticism of the network's flashy videos sparked an idea that would lead to one of the most ironic hits in music history. This is the story of how Dire Straits cleverly turned MTV's own system against them, the birth of a musical revolution. Mark Knopfler had no intention of changing music history when he walked into that New York appliance store in 1985. Dire Straits was already successful, having built a reputation for thoughtful songwriting and masterful guitar work. Their previous album, Love Over Gold, had showcased their ability to create complex, lengthy compositions. But nothing had prepared them for what was about to happen. As Knopfler browsed the store, wall-to-wall televisions flickered with MTV's latest hits. The network's influence was at its peak, turning unknown artists into overnight sensations and reshaping how people consumed music. Two delivery men caught his attention, their conversation cutting through the electronic glow of dozens of TV screens. "That ain't workin'," one said, gesturing at a video showing a flamboyant rock star. His colleague leaned against a stack of boxes, watching with a mix of cynicism and envy. "Maybe we should learn to play the guitar," he replied. "That's the way to do it. Money for nothing and your chicks for free." The authenticity of their conversation struck Knopfler like a bolt of lightning. In an era of polished pop stars and carefully crafted images, here was raw, unfiltered truth about how regular people viewed the music industry. The workers continued their commentary, unaware that one of rock's most respected guitarists was absorbing every word. For Knopfler, a former English teacher who had always written about characters and their stories, this was pure gold. But it also presented a creative challenge. He had built his career telling other people's stories. The sultans of swing in a London pub, tunnel workers in Telegraph Road, but never one about the music industry itself. Using these workers' words meant walking a fine line between critique and career suicide. Back at his hotel that evening, Knopfler couldn't shake the scene from his mind. He began working out the basic structure of what would become Money for Nothing, initially wondering if the song might be too controversial for release. The delivery men's perspective was harsh, their language raw, but their viewpoint represented something real about the disconnect between MTV's glamorous world and everyday life. The potential for something unique was too compelling to ignore. Knopfler decided to preserve the workers' words almost verbatim, creating a character study that would both celebrate and satirize the era of music video. But to pull it off, Dire Straits would need to reinvent their sound entirely, crafting the perfect hook. Dire Straits had always been known for their bluesy, laid-back style. Their signature sound, Knopfler's finger-picked Fender Stratocaster and storytelling lyrics, had earned them critical acclaim and a dedicated following. But to infiltrate MTV's world and deliver their critique effectively, they needed something radically different. The band found unlikely inspiration in ZZ Top, who had mastered the art of creating catchy guitar-driven hits that dominated MTV's rotation. In the studio, Knopfler began experimenting with a completely new guitar technique. Instead of his usual finger-picking style, he developed a unique approach specifically for Money for Nothing. Using a thumb pick and fingers to create sharp, metallic tones, he crafted the now iconic riff that would open the song. The sound was aggressive, almost mechanical, perfectly matching the working-class character he was channeling. The recording process pushed the band into new territory. Unlike their previous albums, which emphasized organic live room sound, Money for Nothing embraced studio technology. The band took an unprecedented step by incorporating synthesizers, marking their first serious venture into electronic territory. Knopfler worked closely with keyboardist Alan Clark to create layers of synthesizer parts that would give the song its distinctive 80s sound. The breakthrough came during drum tracking. Instead of their usual approach, they used heavy compression and gated reverb on Neil Dorfsman's drums, creating that quintessential 80s drum sound. This technique, popularized by Phil Collins, gave the song the radio-friendly punch it needed. The band was crafting something that could compete with the very pop hits their lyrics were critiquing. A chance encounter in the studio added the final piece that would make the song unforgettable. Sting happened to be recording in an adjacent room at Air Studios in Montserrat. On a whim, Knopfler invited him to listen to the track. Sting immediately picked up on the song's potential and suggested adding a hook. His contribution was simple but effective, singing "I Want My MTV" in falsetto, directly referencing the network's popular marketing campaign. This collaboration was more than just a musical decision, it added vital commercial credibility. Sting was one of MTV's biggest stars, and his involvement helped ensure the network would take notice. The irony wasn't lost on anyone. They were using MTV's own marketing slogan in a song that criticized the network's culture. As the final mix came together, the band knew they had created something special. The combination of Knopfler's distinctive guitar work, the modern production techniques, and Sting's hook resulted in a sound unlike anything Dire Straits had produced before. The song was catchy and radio-friendly while maintaining the band's storytelling tradition. They had successfully walked the tightrope between artistic expression and commercial appeal. Money for Nothing was now ready to infiltrate MTV's playlist. The band had created the perfect Trojan horse, a song that captured the sound and energy of the era while carrying a subtle critique of the very system it was designed to succeed within. All they needed now was a video that would be impossible for MTV to ignore: the video revolution. When MTV executives first heard "Money for Nothing," their reaction was unexpected. Instead of being offended by the song's critique of their flashy culture, they pushed for an ambitious music video. There was just one hurdle: Mark Knopfler's known dislike for making videos. The band finally teamed up with director Steve Barron, known for his work on Michael Jackson's Billie Jean. Barron proposed something revolutionary, using computer-generated imagery, CGI, a technique still in its infancy in 1985. The ambitious project would take over 3 months to complete, pushing the boundaries of what was possible in music video production. The technical challenge was immense. Using a Bosch FGS4000 computer graphics system, which cost over $100,000 at the time, animator Ian Pearson and his team had to create every frame manually. The characters were built polygon by polygon, a painstaking process that had never been attempted at this scale for a music video. The team worked 16-hour days to animate just a few seconds of footage. The primitive nature of 1985's computer technology meant each character could only be built from about 1,000 polygons, compared to millions in modern CGI. This limitation led to the video's distinctive blocky style, which perfectly matched the song's working-class characters. The team even had to develop new animation techniques to sync the characters' movements with the music. The resulting video was a masterpiece of visual innovation. Blocky, colorful CGI characters interspersed with live footage of the band performing created a striking contrast that perfectly captured the song's message. These digital workers, inspired by the appliance store conversation, were shown watching MTV and assembling and disassembling the band members, a clever commentary on the manufactured nature of MTV stardom. When the video hit MTV's airwaves, it caused a sensation. Viewers had never seen anything like it. The innovative visuals combined with the song's catchy hooks made it impossible to ignore. The irony wasn't lost on audiences. Here was MTV heavily promoting a video that playfully mocked their entire culture. Money for Nothing quickly became one of the most requested videos on MTV, helping propel the song to the top of the charts. It won numerous awards, including Video of the Year at the 3rd MTV Video Music Awards in 1986. But its impact went far beyond accolades. The video demonstrated that artists could challenge the system while working within it, opening the door for more subversive and experimental content. The success transformed MTV's relationship with artists. The network had shown it could not only take a joke, but turn it into a massive hit. This new dynamic encouraged other musicians to push creative boundaries, knowing MTV might embrace their artistic vision, no matter how unconventional. As Money for Nothing dominated MTV's rotation, It became clear that Dire Straits had done more than create a hit. They'd helped establish music videos as a legitimate art form. The era of limitless creative possibilities in music video production had begun. Controversy and criticism. As Money for Nothing climbed the charts, it carried with it a growing storm of controversy. The lyrics that made it a sensation also sparked intense debate across the music industry and beyond. While the song dominated radio play and MTV rotation, critics and listeners grappled with its provocative content. The controversy centered on the song's use of derogatory terms, particularly in reference to sexuality and race. Even as the song topped charts worldwide, many questioned whether Knopfler's artistic choice to quote real conversations justified the use of such language. Radio stations faced difficult decisions about which version of the song to play, with many opting for edited versions. Knopfler defended his artistic choice, explaining that he was simply chronicling what he'd overheard in the appliance store. "The song is a character study," he maintained in interviews. "These weren't my words. I was writing from the perspective of someone else entirely." But this explanation didn't satisfy everyone, and the debate continued to grow. The controversy extended far beyond music circles. Academic discussions explored the boundaries between artistic expression and social responsibility. Media critics debated the role of satire in popular music. Social commentators questioned whether commercial success justified potentially harmful language, even in the context of social critique. The ongoing debates had an unexpected effect. They kept Money for Nothing relevant long after its initial release. In 2011, nearly 26 years after its debut, the song was briefly banned from Canadian radio, reigniting discussions about its content and impact. Each new controversy brought fresh attention to the song's complex messages about fame, media, and social attitudes. Perhaps most significantly, the controversies surrounding Money for Nothing forced the music industry to confront difficult questions about representation and responsibility in popular music. The debates it sparked helped shape how future artists approach sensitive topics in their work, influencing the delicate balance between artistic freedom and social consciousness. Chart-topping success. Money for Nothing became a commercial juggernaut, catching both the band and industry insiders by surprise. The song's ascent up the charts was nothing short of meteoric. In the United States, it reached the coveted #1 spot on the Billboard Hot 100 and held its ground in the top 10 for an impressive 11 weeks. Internationally, the song made waves too, peaking at #4 in the United Kingdom and reaching the top 10 in numerous countries, including Canada, Australia, and Germany. What made this success particularly intriguing was the contrast between the song's message and its popularity. Here was a track that poked fun at the excesses of the music industry and the perceived easy life of rock stars, yet it was being embraced by the very system it critiqued. Fans couldn't get enough of it, and radio stations had it on heavy rotation. The impact of Money for Nothing extended far beyond just the single. It served as a powerful engine for Dire Straits' album Brothers in Arms. The album, riding on the coattails of its hit single, topped charts in numerous countries and went on to sell over 30 million copies worldwide, making it one of the best-selling albums of all time. As the song continued its chart domination, anticipation built around just how far it could go. Music industry observers watched in awe as it racked up accolades and broke records. The song's peak success came with a shower of awards and recognition. It won the Grammy for Best Rock Performance by a duo or group with vocal in 1986. The groundbreaking music video also snagged the Video of the Year award at the 3rd MTV Video Music Awards, adding another layer of irony to its critique of the network. This unprecedented success marked a turning point in Dire Straits' career. They were no longer just a respected rock band. They had become global superstars. The song that started as a wry observation in an appliance store had catapulted them to the pinnacle of the music industry. But with great success often comes great pressure. As Dire Straits basked in the glow of their biggest hit, they faced new challenges. How would they follow up such a massive success? Could they maintain this level of popularity without compromising their artistic integrity? These questions would shape the band's future and set the stage for the next chapter in their musical journey, reshaping MTV's landscape. Money for Nothing didn't just change Dire Straits' fortunes, it sparked a transformation in MTV's approach to content. The network, known for favoring glossy, high-production videos, faced a dilemma with this song that poked fun at their image. MTV had carefully curated its content since its launch, but now found itself at a crossroads. Surprisingly, they embraced the criticism, putting the video into heavy rotation. This decision marked a significant shift in MTV's approach to content. The network that had carefully cultivated its image was now willing to laugh at itself. Other artists quickly took notice and saw an opportunity to push boundaries in ways previously unimaginable. The floodgates of creativity began to open. David Bowie's Dancing in the Street, released shortly after, featured Bowie and Mick Jagger dancing goofily on London streets, a far cry from MTV's usual polished performances. It was as if they were saying, "If Dire Straits can make fun of MTV, we can make fun of ourselves." Peter Gabriel's Sledgehammer pushed the boundaries of visual effects, while Madonna's Like a Prayer tackled controversial religious and racial themes. MTV's programming began to evolve as well, expanding beyond just music videos. Shows like Yo! MTV Raps brought hip-hop to mainstream audiences, while 120 Minutes showcased alternative and indie music. The network was transforming from a simple music video platform into a cultural force that shaped trends rather than just reflecting them. The impact of this shift rippled through the industry. MTV's willingness to air Money for Nothing had opened the door to a new era of music television. Artists felt more empowered to express themselves freely, knowing that MTV might give them a platform. Music videos became increasingly experimental, incorporating social commentary, unconventional narratives, and criticism of the industry itself. This evolution wasn't without its growing pains. MTV had to navigate a delicate balance between maintaining its commercial success and embracing more challenging content. Not every attempt at edgier programming was successful, but the network's commitment to innovation remained strong. Legacy and influence. While Money for Nothing topped the charts in 1985, its influence on music video history was just beginning. The song's blend of catchy hooks and biting satire inspired a new generation of artists to push boundaries in their own work. Bands like Radiohead and Nirvana cited Dire Straits as an influence, particularly in their approach to critiquing the music industry from within. The groundbreaking CGI heavy video opened doors for more experimental visual styles in music videos. Artists and directors realized they could use cutting-edge technology to enhance their storytelling. This shift led to a boom in creative music videos throughout the late 1980s and 1990s, with directors pushing the boundaries of what was possible in the medium. The song's commentary on celebrity culture gained new relevance with the rise of social media and reality TV. The idea of fame for fame's sake, critiqued in the lyrics, became a central part of pop culture discourse. Each new technological advancement in the music industry seemed to make the song's message more pertinent. Music scholars and critics continue to analyze its impact on popular culture. The track serves as a case study in how art can both critique and participate in the systems it criticizes. Its innovative use of CGI, once groundbreaking, set new standards for creativity in visual media. In the world of guitar playing, Mark Knopfler's innovative techniques in Money for Nothing inspired countless musicians. The song's distinctive riff, achieved through a unique combination of fingerpicking and effects pedals, became a staple of guitar instruction books and online tutorials. Even today, Money for Nothing continues to influence how musicians approach their craft. Its impact can be heard in songs that blend social commentary with catchy hooks, seen in music videos that push technological boundaries, and felt in ongoing discussions about the nature of fame and success in the music industry. The band's perspective. Creating a chart-topping hit can be a blessing and a curse. Just ask Dire Straits. Their song Money for Nothing catapulted them to superstardom, but it also left them grappling with its legacy for years to come. Mark Knopfler, the band's frontman, initially seemed overwhelmed by the intense attention and pressure that came with such massive success. The band members had distinctly different reactions to their newfound fame. Bassist John Illsley embraced the success, seeing it as validation of their hard work and artistic vision. In contrast, Knopfler grew increasingly uncomfortable with the song's popularity, often distancing himself from it in his solo shows. The pressure to maintain their status and meet fans' expectations created a grueling schedule that pushed the band to its limits. During 1985 to 1986, Dire Straits embarked on a massive world tour, selling over 2.5 million tickets and setting records in Australasia. The relentless pace of touring and the pressures of fame began to wear on the band members. John Illsley later reflected, "Most of our marriages were falling apart, we weren't seeing our children very much. It was all wrong, basically." For Knopfler, the experience was particularly challenging. Despite being at the height of commercial success, he grew disillusioned with stardom. The very fame that Money for Nothing had critiqued was now his daily reality. In one interview, he candidly expressed, "It just got too big." As time passed, Knopfler's perspective on Money for Nothing evolved. In a recent interview, he admitted, "I'm grateful for what that song did for us, even if I didn't always see it that way." This change in attitude reflects a broader acceptance of the song's place in music history. Today, Dire Straits' view on their game-changing hit is one of pride mixed with a hint of bemusement. They're proud of the song's artistic merits and its lasting impact, but they also seem slightly amused by the frenzy it caused. As Knopfler put it, "It's just a song, you know, but it took on a life of its own." Money for Nothing stands as a testament to how artists can challenge industry norms while achieving commercial success. In today's digital age, its commentary on the intersection of art and commerce remains surprisingly relevant. The song continues to influence how we think about music, videos, and popular culture, proving that truly innovative art can transcend its era to speak to future generations.